Welcome to the Center of Light Radio with spiritual teacher, intuitive, musician, composer, and best-selling author of The Divine Principle, Anchoring Heaven on Earth, your host, Keith Anthony Blanchard.
Welcome to the show. Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. You can find me, yes, Keith Anthony Blanchard, sitting here in this chair, navigating through all my wonderful guests that we have here on this fine program on Inception Radio Network. Strap in all ye spiritual astronauts as we launch for inner space. Make sure to visit Center of Light Radio website. You do that at centeroflightradio.com. There you will find a history of all my archive shows. Wonderful guests, wonderful shows. Very nicely done. There's video, pictures of companies, the audio track. Very, very cool. Interview everyone from aliens. Yep, aliens. Angelic walk-ins to God-realized men. Wow, I am a very blessed man. From there, you could jump seat and go to keithanthonyblanchard.com. Why? Because I want you to download the free Anchoring Heaven on Earth audio meditation. Sure, my guest today, we're going to be talking about meditation, the importance of it. Meditation is booting yourself up through the ceiling of thought so you can find yourself in that profound stillness. Be still and know that I am God. You might refer to in scripture. Your guidance is there. Your power is there. Everything you need, your clarity is there. Meditation is the way to go. Also, follow that same link in the very near future and you will find a free link to my free movie that I'm going to be finished with tomorrow. It's called And the Meek Shall Inherit the Earth. I woke up 3 weeks ago with nothing to do. And I heard loud and clear, Keith, you have all the software in your computer, make an educational documentary movie. So I've been doing this for about 2.5, 3 weeks, 12 hours a day, and it took a toll on me. I'm coming back from being not well as I could be, but today is good. Today is good. I'm back. Also, remember, if you are not at home, and you want to listen to your favorite show, hopefully it's Center of Light Radio, but any of the fine programs you'll find here on Inception Radio Network, make sure you go to your app store on your phone and download the Inception Radio Network app for free. You have everything right there at your disposal. News, podcasts, chat room, listen, live links, much, much more. There are many ways to connect to Center of Light Radio and Inception Radio Network for sure. If you want to call in, dial 888-919-2355, 888-919-2355. We're all friends here. Make sure you call in just to say hi if you need to. Get to know me, get to know my guests. We would truly appreciate and invite that. And now it's time to get down to Center of Light Radio business. Today, my guest is Miss Jennifer Ruth Russell, and we will be discussing her phenomenal, trust me, I'm a full-time musician, phenomenal music. Jennifer is an award-winning songwriter, singer, inspirational speaker, spiritual teacher, and life coach. I'm sure she has many other things that she does. Jennifer has spent her life deepening her gifts of music in order to lift others in song, helping them come back home to their hearts. As a child and grandchild of missionaries to Africa, as well as being one of 6 children, I know what that's like. I'm one of 6. Jennifer grew up learning how to create musical entertainment for herself and her family. Through this, she came to discover that for her, music truly nourishes the soul. An acclaimed and talented musician, Jennifer has earned accolades for her music, ranging from the National Parenting Center's seal of approval to the United Church of Religious Sciences Art Award and numerous awards from a range of other organizations. Jennifer is a licensed practitioner of truth at Agape International Spiritual Center in Culver City, California. I wonder if that's with Michael Beckwith. And the Centers for Spiritual Living in Camarillo, California. She has a calling and love for prayer and exploring the great mysteries. Jennifer now travels internationally offering her songs, workshops, and she calls them Soulebrations. Love it. Jennifer Russell, welcome to Center of Light Radio.
Thank you, Keith. I'm so delighted to be here. I feel like I'm just sitting right here in this living room with you. And I feel really comfortable. Thank you.
You are welcome here. I listened to your music, and I'm glad you came prepared and brought forth what I was not able to because I was not well. And I've listened to your phenomenal music. It's truly phenomenal. And I'm not saying that to blow you up really big because you're a guest on the show and for ratings and all that. You are really, really awesome at what you do. The songwriting is top notch. The musicianship, I don't know who you have playing on your albums. Phenomenal. The vocal structure, the melodies, the phrasing, the production, it's just all really, really good quality stuff. Wow.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will say right up front that I write the simple songs, and my producer / guitar player / husband is an amazing producer, and he's able to, bring out the seed. Oh, I guess that's the best way to say it. The seed of the song, so that it is expressed in its beauty. And I'm grateful to say that people love to listen to my songs over and over, which to me is a big compliment to him.
He has a phenomenal ear. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah,
wow. He's impressive.
Playing the guitars on everything, and and also he's the rhythmic genius, which I'm more with the melodies and the choral structures. That's me. But we are definitely a team, and we just celebrated. Celebrated. There you go. Celebrated like 27 years of doing this together, and we just finally stopped and said, "Wow, it's how you just kind of innocently start things, and then it's like looking back, going, wow, it's been working." It's been good.
Yes, and is that the Agape Church with Michael Beckwith? Is there more than one?
Yeah, I know there's other centers that are affiliated with Agape International Spiritual Center, but the one that I'm involved with is absolutely, Reverend Michael Beckwith is my minister and mentor. Yep, and that's where I hang out. I get to sing there about twice a year. There's so many amazing musicians there, and I'm honored I'm going to be there in December, actually, the second Sunday in December. I'm going to be.
Well, very, very cool. If you need a backup singer, guitar player / bass player.
Come on.
I would love to. And by the way, listening audience, if you're not familiar with Michael Beckwith's work and his philosophies and his teachings and his energy, write it down and make it a point. I'm sure he has some YouTube stuff out there. Phenomenal human being, illumined human being. And I just love the gentleman. And every time I get the opportunity to be a part of his message, I humble myself. I get very quiet inside, and I take it in beyond the words for sure. Jennifer, I would like to get right down to some of your music. Okay. What song would you have us to hear first from your phenomenal album?
Well, I put out 2 CDs recently, and There's Only Light.
You have a total of like 7, is that correct?
Yeah, well, I have more than that, but for right now, let's talk about these 2. I have a lot of kids songs, and last time I looked, I think there's 141 songs that I've written and recorded. So I'm definitely here to write songs and to write songs that open the heart. So I'm just, like you said, I am humbled that I've been able to do this, and I've had a wonderful team around me to help me do this. But the 2 that we're going to focus on today are There's Only Light and Lie Down in That Grass. And There's Only Light is a song that I'd love to share today. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful song, but to me, it's like, let's hang out in this place of light, remembering that that's who we are. That's where we come from. That's where we're going back to. That's who we are right now.
Phenomenal. I'm listening to this awesome track.
And the beginning of everything. You are the light from the great sun. I am the light, born of the one source. It cannot be divided. Light is everywhere, in all places, at the same time. There's only light. We are the light. There's only light. We are the light. This is the truth and the beginning of everything. You are the light from the great sun. I am the light, born of the one. This is the truth and the beginning of everything. Light flows from one source. It cannot be divided. No, no. Light is everywhere. Yes, it's in all places. Yeah, all at the same time.
Wow, Jennifer Russell, I'm loving this track. What phenomenal music. What inspired you to write There's Only Light?
You know, there's a little book called let's see if I can remember the exact name of it. It's a little book of light, and it's a book by my friend David Matthew Brown. And these
Love it.
words, you know David Matthew Brown. And yes,
Love it.
I love that book, and I love the way it was written, and those words just shouted at me. I said, oh, wow, we got to write a song here. And it's a very simple song. And of course, it was the time of the winter solstice, and we needed a song about light. And it just, Michael, my husband, helped me write it. It's one of the few things that we wrote together with David's words. And, the phrase that always gets me every time is, light is undivided.
Yeah, you can't fragment light. It's like, in fact, in the movie that I'm about to put out, In the Meek Shall Inherit the Earth, talks very much about how light is everywhere at all times. If God is omnipresent, there's no place it is not. It's inherent in every molecule within every atom. So there's just no place it does not exist. You can't divide, as you say. Let me ask you this question. Since you have more of the songwriting creative input, does he have the same grace when it comes to the production aspect? In other words, let's say you have 75 and he may have 25% of the writing. And does he have 75% of production and you have 25% of the say? How does that work as a team?
We decided in the very beginning that we're going to just do kind of a, Paul McCartney and John Lennon thing. That we're just going to divide everything in half. So we've done that. I'm just keeping it real simple. Very simple.
Are all of your songs or most of your songs written because of a life event or something you've gleaned in a meditation, or some songs just written because they're fanciful ideas, and then you got a cool title and a couple of cool phrases, and you begin to write the song around that? Or I would guess, knowing you as a spiritual teacher, most of these probably come from life experiences.
Actually, I write songs a lot of times, yes, to answer all those questions that you just asked, I would say yes to every one of them. But mainly it is when I really want to learn something spiritually, I write a song about it. Like lesson 68 is right out of the Course of Miracles. Love holds no grievances. It's about really, really releasing and seeing everybody as a part of me. You're a part of me. I'm a part of you. And that concept was just so big when I first heard it. It was like, yes, I kind of get it. But I really want to get it. I want to get it in my body. I want to know what that is. And when I get that way about something, I write a song about it. When something hits me in the heart, and some of my songs are very emotional, like, I want to know this, or I write one line and I cry for 2 weeks. I know that's a song I'm going to finish.
So your songs, as you're describing, are supplications.
They are. Well, they are prayer. They're verses. They're affirmations. Yeah.
So in writing these songs and recording them, it's your way of opening yourself up and saying, I don't know everything and I want to know more. And I think it's a beautiful, beautiful idea.
Well, I think music helps us go beyond the mind. It helps us go right into the cells of our body and into our hearts. And that's, to me, when we know something there, we know it. We got it.
How long have you been on this path of really wanting to get it?
I was raised in the evangelical Christian church, and then I took 20 years off from any kind of anything. I couldn't even walk into a church because I guess I repelled, and
been there, done that.
Yeah. So when I came back, I started going really slowly. It's been about 25 years now. Just like, this is mine, and each little gem is a foundation that I own now. It wasn't just something somebody else gave me. 20 years I've been in the metaphysical search. And I would say, no, I want to say that differently. The metaphysical remembering.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, at least you're searching within yourself where that memory is stored. So they both apply.
Yes.
Jennifer,
Absolutely.
Let's move on to song number 2. I think you have one called Lesson 68. Is that right?
That's right. I see you as my friend. Yeah.
And this is from the Course in Miracles Inspiration. Yeah.
Well, the Course of Miracles is 365 lessons, and this is lesson 68.
All right, rolling that song now.
I see you, I see you, I see you as my friend. I see you and I remember that you are a part of me. I see you, I see you, I see you as my friend. I see you, my friend, you help me come to know myself. Love created me, love created me. Love holds no grievances. I let all my sorrows go. When I let go of all my grievances, I will know you are a part of me. I will know I am perfectly safe. I see you, I
Wow. Great music by my guest here in Center of Light Radio. Ms. Jennifer Russell. Part of me, perfectly safe. I love those lines. Also, I love I see you as my friend. And those who are frequent Center of Light Radio will know that I've told this story a few times, which is when I play music out in public or whenever I'm in public, and I see so many awesome people. Let's say I just met John or Jill Doe. Immediately I fall within myself and I begin to look for a particular quality, Jennifer, in someone that I just met. And when I find it, I begin to hone in on it. I begin to massage it. I begin to admire it. I begin to appreciate it on a very, very deep level. And because I'm looking for God's existence in that particular attribute or quality of that person, I have and still do see God step out of that person in front of my face to where that person themselves does not know what's happening to them.
Wow.
And I do that with a touch, a look, a gesture, a word, or just listening. But I do it from a very, very sacred space within myself. And the profound effect that it happens is just amazing. And so using your lyric, I see everyone as my friend, always.
It's beautiful. I want to tell a little story that reminds me of a little story when I was, I'm so glad that you're a musician. Because we just have a little bit of different way of seeing everything, because we do go out there and do this thing of standing in front of people and making sounds and tones and and they listen. I mean, sometimes it's just very odd to me, but I think it's a wonderful circle that's completed. And we used to do a lot of programs for kids, because I've written a lot of kids' music, and it's been in a LA Unified School District. And one school is a completely special ed school, and they wanted us to come and do a program. And it was so interesting because these are severely handicapped kids. I mean, the hallway in this school is probably 20 feet wide, just so they can move around in their apparatuses and the machines that get them from one place to another. So we're in the auditorium, and I realized that I had a little bit of a panic, like, how do I sing to them? I mean, because usually I'm getting kids singing, we're singing together, we're doing this thing. And this beautiful teacher said to me, they just want to know that you see them. And that just opened up the whole thing for me. And I couldn't hardly even finish the singing that I had to do with them, because I was so moved by their presence, that they were just there glowing in their presence. And they didn't need anything from me except for just to be with me. It was just such a precious moment. Thank you for reminding me of that.
I love those moments. I was doing a spiritual fair some years ago, and I had my own vending booth. And one of my friends was across the way, and she had a client sit down and open herself up and begin to expose the things that happened to her in her life. And my friend came over to my side of the event room and said, Keith, I got someone who probably could use you because of what you do and your energy and so forth. And so I walked over there and thinking, superhuman hero Keith was going to be of absolute help. I began to tell her that I know everything seems dark and bleak right now, but don't be fooled by the facade, because all opportunity is all around you. And she goes, I don't see it, Keith. And I proceeded to show her. And what was really, really magical for me, though I was feeling really good and feeling very blissful and buzzed because of the love and energy that was coming through me to want to help. Somehow, magically, I was blessed. It turned around to where she became my teacher. And the crying that happened to her was mirrored to me times infinity. And I literally fell to my knees because thinking I was going over there to be the teacher backfired. Jennifer, we're at the bottom of the hour. Would you please give out your contact information so our listener audience can find more about you, your teachings, your philosophies, everything you're about as a life coach, and also importantly, as a musician, writing 140 some odd plus songs that are just phenomenal. Please give out your information, please.
I would love to. In fact, if you go there, there's a little gift there for you. My website is jenniferruthrussell.com.
That's beautiful.
ruthrussell.com. No fancy spelling. Two S's and two L's in my last name. And you find everything about me there. And there's a wonderful prayer chant that I wrote on the Ho'oponopono prayer, which is, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, which to me is a prayer of making all things right. And I love to give that to anybody that comes and visits me at my website. So come and get that Ho'oponopono prayer chant for yours.
That's Hawaiian, correct?
Yes, it is.
I was in Hawaii back in 1992. A friend of mine, the bass player for Jefferson Starship, they needed a sound engineer. And so he was back in Memphis from Seattle, just hanging out, visiting here in Memphis during Christmas time. And I said, so Jeff, where you been going? He said, I went to Canada and this place and that place. So where are you off to next? He goes, we're going to Hawaii. And being silly, like I said, let me know if you need a sound engineer. And he looked at me and says, we're looking for a sound engineer. So he got me a first class, all round trip, all expense paid, and they paid me a salary on top for 2 months. We set up the first day we got there. We tore down the last day we left, a place called the Wave Waikiki, and phenomenal. It's one of the highlights in my life. But while I was in Hawaii, I loved the culture. I loved the language. Everything they speak, it sounds like they're singing. Just the whole culture is just like this amazing song. And Hawaii is just this very, very enchanting kind of place. I need to go back and visit. Did you go there as to why you may have had a particular inspiration to write that song?
Actually, I was taking a spiritual class, and it's Masterful Living with Jennifer Hadley. And we had this as our prayer for 1 month. And living with it. Well, I have to tell you a funny story about this. This song came very easily to me. And when I played it for my husband, he goes, oh, I don't get it. No guys are going to like that. It sounds really like, poor me. And I made the mistake of listening to him, and I left it alone. And then there was something came up, and somebody said, I really want a forgiveness song. And I said, you know what? I'm going to bring this out. And we ended up doing a house concert for another one of my albums called Worthy. And at the end, somebody said, hey, what about that, I love you, I'm sorry song? Because she had heard it when I first written it. And I said, let's do it. And it was the most amazing time of the whole night. We ended up all singing it together for over 15 minutes. And this song is it's truly magical. It makes all things right. It really does. So it's very powerful.
How often do you do your life coaching spiritual teachings? Do you incorporate that with your music? Though your music alone is a workshop. Do you do these combined, or are they separate?
I do them combined and separate. So when I'm doing my spiritual mentoring, I do that without singing to people most of the time. But then the Soulebrations are time where we really pull out all the stops. We do music, we do prayer, we do meditation, I do some speaking. We get into some processes together, we move, and it's just a truly delightful time. And I have visuals happening the whole time. So it's a whole body experience. And that's when I think I can bring all my gifts together into one package and tie it up with a nice bow.
Do you sit down like today? I'm going to sit down today, just woke up. I'm going to sit down and see what comes through. The songs are already bombarding you as to why you can't get your guitar or your piano out fast enough to begin to put it down. Would both those be true?
Sometimes the way it usually happens to me is a phrase will come in, because to me, lyrics are gold. I mean, if you get a good lyric, it's like golden. So a line will come in, or I'll read a prayer, and it's just like, wow, that needs to be in a song. That happened with Come Whoever You Are, and also in Lie Down in That Grass. That's a Rumi poem. And actually the minister from Camarillo says, hey, write a song about this. And so that was an inspiration there. Come Whoever You Are is a song about forgiveness. And it is, even though you've broken your vow 1,000 times, come. You know, it doesn't matter, come. And I read that, and when I was right in the middle of experiencing, my son was experiencing a lot of hardship and homelessness and you know, some addiction. And when I read that, my heart just burst open. I cried. That was one of the songs I cried for 2 weeks. And then I said, okay, I got to come back and finish the song. So lyrics, I think, are the start, or else I'll get just a little lick in my head of a really cool melody. And it seems like the words just kind of drop into it. But it has,
go ahead, love.
It has to have a strong heart pull.
Are you a guitarist or pianist? A little bit of both?
I play the piano.
I wish I would have started on piano. It would have been a great foundation for myself. We were just talking about Lie Down in That Grass. Do we have that one available?
Absolutely.
Joe, my producer, my awesome producer, the guy's on top of everything. Would you cue up that song for me, sir, please? Greatly. Lie Down in That Grass.
And right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. Lie down in that grass. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about, and ideas, language, even the phrase each other doesn't make any sense. When the soul lies down in that grass, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. Lie down in that grass.
When a soul lies down in that grass, each other doesn't make any sense. That so parallels to an experience I had some years ago. I was walking in a castle. This was during sleep. Very conscious, mind you. Walking through this castle and with limited awareness. I couldn't see peripherally, but I can only see what was in front of me. And I noticed these two, I don't like to use this word, but it conveys an idea. These two not so illumined beings. How's that? And they both were females and they both were naked. And they wanted to have some earthly fun. And as I scanned them from their feet up to their head, they did not look too pleasant. So I decided I'm going to go outside. And they said, are you thinking about going outside? You don't want to do that. I said, why is that? They said, the sunlight will burn you. And I said, well, that's exactly why I'm going to go outside, because I knew it was going to be a purification. Mm-hmm. And when I got outside, I laid down in the grass in a meadow. And before me was this 25 or so foot tall cross, and laying down in the grass, the voice of God started to ramble. I wouldn't say ramble, but begin to speak in my ear. And at the same time, in my mind's eye, black and white images of my past from my birth to that moment flashed through my mind while I'm hearing God's voice. And I heard, Keith, are you willing to release all of this to be with me? And I said, yes. And I began to do a sit-up type crunch with one long drone of the word love. And I was pulled into an experience through a wormhole all the way up to the Godhead. So believe me and Jennifer when we say lie down in that grass.
Yes. Wow, that's quite a vision you had there.
And so this is a Rumi. This came from Rumi, yes?
Yes. Yeah, and a lot of times people just hear the first part, out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing. There's a field. I'll meet you there. But I really like to continue that, lie down in that grass, the out beyond any judgment, who says you're wrong and I'm right, or I'm wrong and you're right. It's let's just go and lie down together beyond ideas, beyond language.
Let's get on to the next song. I'm really loving you. I love your voice. It's so soothing. It's meditating. It's healing. It's massaging. It's all those wonderful qualities that pull us into such fabulous music. Opening the Mouth is a song you have. My guess is this is going to be about breathing.
Actually, this is an ancient. No, we always have to breathe. It's the first thing of life, right? The breath of God is breathing me, as one of Ricky's songs. That's But this song I think is. There's a lot that I've been hearing about disclosure. About speaking the truth and about letting the truth be known. And this is really about coming out of repression. So just to tell you a little bit about this song, I was reading this beautiful book called Anna, the Grandmother of Jesus by Claire Hartstrong. And this actually came almost right out of that book. It's an Egyptian alchemical term. They've used to use it for mummies. There was a time when a mummy would actually open its mouth. But this is more that it is the opening of the mouth of the divine feminine, that it's time for all that's been silenced, the silent wounds of suffering, to be healed. It's time for the closed inner ears to open. It's time for the fear that has closed our voices to sing at last, especially for people that have felt suppressed or, taken advantage of. It's time to open up the mouth and speak the truth. It's time for centuries of repression to have a voice. So this song, I think, is really important right now because I do believe this is a time where nothing will remain hidden. And those people, I have one in my family. I'm sure every family has one that's been the quiet one, the one that stands next to the wall and doesn't speak out and suffers a lot because of that. And I've always felt like the bull in her china shop, But she's one of my sisters who has cerebral palsy. And she came that way, I know that she absolutely has learned so much by her life. But this song is really about letting that which needs to be heard and need to be seen. And I have a feeling we're going to start seeing a whole bunch of stuff about our own country, about the world that's going to start absolutely coming into the light. So this song is really about true liberation, be within and beyond all form.
Lovely.
loud, so that the mother's voice can be heard. It is time for true liberation within and beyond. For now is the time. It is time for our great mother's opening at last. The awakening of our oneness. It is enough, it is enough, it is enough, it is enough. It is enough, it is enough, it is enough, it is enough. No more suffering in the silence. It is enough. The opening of the mouth. The opening of the mouth. The opening of the mouth. Great our hearts, our ears, our mouths, our minds are remembering. Our hearts, our ears, our mouths, our minds are awakening. The opening of the mouth. The opening of the mouth. The opening of the
Jennifer, how often do you play out live?
As often as possible. And it's usually around 4 or 5 times a month that I'm out somewhere doing some music.
I
Yeah.
do about 20, maybe sometimes plus gigs a week.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and you and I mentioned just a bit ago, how do you play the same song fresh? That song that you've been playing for many, many years or played many, many times. What I've learned when I play with my bandmates, band is called Grand Theft Audio. We're a rock band. Play everything from Journey to Styx to Boston, Kansas, and all that cool stuff. But how do we play the same song fresh, though we may play Carry On My Wayward Son or whatever the song may be? It's because, one, we love the music. We're passionate about what we're doing. We're passionate about each other. But what I found and still find is to get into the zone, you have to get out of the way. You know, the first 2 or 3 songs, I'm also the bass player. I'm also the light guy. I work lights with my feet. And I'm also the sound engineer. So I got all these multitasking things looming over me, and I got to tend to them all when I can. But that being said, you know, the first 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 songs into the night, you know, I'm still tweaking. I'm still trying to settle in while they may be settled already. But once we settle in, something begins to happen that is beyond band rehearsal. You cannot rehearse for 30,000 years and make things happen the way they do. It's when we all let go and we get to the place that is so beyond the body. It's like there's an oversoul that begins to filter and move through all the band members. And that's where the magic begins to happen. And that's why, for me, the songs never get old. They just become catalysts for greater expression of the creative energy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think too, just lifting into the breath always helps me really just remember what I'm doing, because I actually feel the light come into the top of my head, going all the way down, especially amplified through your heart, and going into the ground and then coming up through people's feet. I know it sounds kind of strange, but it's a visual that was given to me once, and there's a visceral experience that, because my music is pretty intimate. A lot of times it's just me and the piano. And I used to get a little intimidated by that, but now I get more into that, like we are in this experience together, and I'm going to be doing my part by just staying as open as I can, having Spirit roll through me. And I really know that my job is to help people open their heart. So that's my job, is to just stay as open as I can and to open my mouth.
Do you have seasons in which you write, and do you have seasons when you say, I'm taking a sabbatical, and you might want to get to the piano and the hubby says, we're on vacation, right? I mean, or you just allow yourself to grace that when you can and you feel it, you write, or do you actually say, I'm not writing this month?
You know, I never say that to myself, but I do notice that there's an ebb and a flow. Like there was just these 17 songs on these 2 CDs were quite a project, and doing them also in the midst of a lot of, like, my husband's a basketball coach for over 100 kids. So we were like trying to grab time here and there. As before, we used to have like 14 hours a day we could stay in the studio. And now it's like, you know, we're going to take the time when we need it. But two, I just always let myself go to the piano whenever I feel it, because I really believe that's my gift to give to the world. And so I don't want to withhold that. And so I thought, these 2 albums are going to hold me over. What, you know, there's already been like 3 songs that have come through since then. So I'm not putting any limitation on it. I'm just letting it flow.
I can feel, I can smell, I can hear your passion for what you do. And anyone who knows me and has frequented this show knows that I am the passion guru. It is all about passion. Passion is the fuel for creativity.
Yes, absolutely.
What about Rise Up? Can we chart up Rise Up and listen to this beautiful track?
Yeah, this song is, to me, I'm glad we're ending with this song, because to me, this song is really like, let's rise up to our godness. You know, let's rise up to be the best that we can be. Let's rise up and forget doubt. And the first part is just like, you know, daughters of the living Spirit rise, sons of all creations rise. We are made perfect. We are made whole. We are made of infinite love. Rise up. And then I really feel so strongly to encourage those of us that are working in the fields of light, and those of us that are artists, because I think a lot of times we doubt our artistry. We doubt that, you know, especially if you're working on your own, you know, you may be working with people and doing sessions with people, and you're a light worker, and there's no one there to say, hey, you did a great job, here's a raise. You know, I mean, you have to really sink into what you're here to do, and to do it with confidence. And so I just really felt like there needed to be a verse in here for light workers and also for artists, because we are two of the groups of people in our culture that I really believe are coming into our own. And as we get more courageous, and as we realize that we're really funded by you know, infinite source, that's where we're really funded. And to really know that gives us courage to step in and really share our gifts.
Yes.
Yes.
For me, confidence is a lightning rod. It is God ready to step forward very, very boldly and say, ta-da!
Yes.
I'm here.
Yes. And a lot of people working in the fields of light have stepped back and not been very bold. But I really believe that's changing. And I'm doing some work with practitioners now to build like a business model, really simple business model, but to get them out into the world instead of just in the back rooms after a service praying for people. It's time for, people really need to know how to connect. I mean, we naturally do it, but how to start having a spiritual practice, how to take these wonderful ideas and really put them into your life and the hands and feet and talking as your life. There's a lot of people that already know that. And so if this song can encourage any of you out there that, you're wondering, should I stay with this job that bores me to tears and I hate and I'm only doing it for the money, or am I ready to step out into what I'm really here to do and to bring my gift of healing or sight or whatever it may be to share with the world? And there's no reason that I should be suffering from lack of income. None whatsoever.
And I think the song very well relates to the world. I think the world is rising up, and we're moving out of the lack of humanity into the abundance of humanity. I think the song just is phenomenal across the entire spectrum of what rise up actually means.
Yes, resurrection.
There we go. And the alarm in the back actually supports you. The siren.
Absolutely. It's time.
Beautiful music.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Keith,
Healing
once again.
music. Healing
Thank you.
music. Jennifer Russell, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you very much for being a beautiful, phenomenal, talented, illumined guest here in Center of Light Radio.
I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me, Keith, and thank you for shining your light so brightly.
Is there a final thought you'd like to leave our listening audience with?
Be encouraged. Listen to your heart and know that you are right where you need to be right now. Keep on.
Encourage. Be encouraged.
Yes.
Always be encouraged. Lovely. Jennifer, again, that door swings open to you anytime, love.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for
Thank
joining.
you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. What a phenomenal guest here on Center of Light Radio. This machine, this spaceship flies off of planet Earth every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. My name is Keith Anthony Blanchard, as I said before. Please make sure to check out centeroflightradio.com for all the past shows here that we have had, the phenomenal shows from aliens to God Realized Men. Also, check out DoWhatYouLoveTheMovie.com. DoWhatYouLoveTheMovie.com. It's a movie made out of New York by Blue Cash Productions, a movie about my life, giving you the tools that you need to empower you to beat your feet towards your bliss, as Jennifer does so very well. So you're able to live your passion, your bliss. Remember, when you lay down at night and you're just laying there and you're looking for a little something to do that doesn't require a lot of effort but has such an amazing impact, breathe. Open your mouth. Breathe in and out. Breathe that breath. And you will come to find that the real you lies just behind that breath. And that breath is your key to everything. Everything. Always remember, spread the light. Ease into bliss. Good evening.